And what did I snap? Milky Bucket Mallow. Not too bad, actually. It's not too Marlowish. I've had some Marlow products. Sometimes they're a little too Marlow. And I thought I loved too Marlow, but I think I Marlowed out. Sometimes when you have too much of something, you end up Marlowing out, say like me with Marlow. And then you got to have Marlow in the future and you're like, oh, it's too much Marlow. It's called Marlowed out. It means I had too much of the Marlow. Because back in the day, I used to put a little bit of milk in the glass like that. And then that much Marlow. Right? So you can imagine that. And then I got to a point where it was like, oh, Marlow headache, like too much Marlow. Right? And then I didn't have Marlow for ages. And then I got to have Marlow now, older. And I don't have as much Marlow. And when I put it in a cup, I have about that much of a Marlow head. And I might let it float around and have a little bit of it. Oh, yeah, like the old days. But not that much. Because it's just too much. I over Marlowed back in the day. Like I overdone it with port wine once. By drinking port wine in a mug like that. I kept drinking. About 3 of them I think I had one time. Here in Wodonga at what you call a dog kennel. Where students stay at. Right next to the colleges and that. And they get little rentals. While you do a scholarship or something. And they've got it over here. And they call them dog kennels. And I went and had a party once years ago with girls there and had this port where I had too much port with my sister and of course drinking age if I've been responsible and we all drink a little too much too quickly and it was my fault, no one else's, and people were telling me not to do it but I pushed it anyway, you know how it goes. But I had about 3 of these in the end, thankfully, and sculling them down, of port where you're meant to just have a little bit of nothing or shotties of it, straight strong port wine. And then these other people rocked up and they had some Mississippi and I think some Jack Daniels and some Jim Beam, and so I mixed a little bit of that in there, a couple of straights and also some Coke, and overdone it that night. I ended up chucking up in a little bucket and overflowed it and all in my face and everything. I'll never forget it, because you never forget the stupidest moments, I think. Even when you forget it the next day, but it comes back, you know what I mean, and plus people giving you stories to help you refresh your mind. But that's what happened, and ever since then, too, with that, being a stupid idiot when it comes to alcohol, is I can't drink port wine the same as Marlow and out, no? Because if I go to drink port wine out, not only I go, like, oh man, it's too much, my gut curdles. Like my gut curdles with beer. I can't drink beer at all, any beer. I've tried all sorts of beers, but once I get about halfway through, I'll throw up, because my gut literally feels sick and starts curdling for the first mouthful. I can't get used to that taste. See, if my gut never did that, I'd be doing what everyone else would say to me. Just get used to the taste. It was a cheap alcohol drink. You should get used to beer. That's why a lot of people drink it, because it's cheap, right? Not because it tastes great. It's what made the beer's name. It's what I've heard a lot, right, people? So if other alcohols were cheaper, they might outdo beer a little bit. But if you want to know why beer gets somewhere, it's because it's cheaper, right? And people will get used to the taste, because we can get used to anything. And after a while, you might even go from I don't like it to I like it. You can do that with just even food. And the drinks work the same way. But my gut could never do that. I even tried over years, and after a few more years, and kept trying it to see if my gut would get used to it over time or something like that. But it still does the same thing. In fact, it's gotten slightly worse, where I only need a few mouthfuls and I might throw up instead of half the beer or a beer. But anyway, I'll leave that there. That's another little story for you, as well as goes with this clip about what snapped. The Milky Bar. Have a good one. Bye.